The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel is a series of 6 fantasy novels written by Irish author Michael Scott, completed in 2012. The first book in the series, The Alchemyst, was released in 2007, and the sequels were released at the rate of 1 per year, concluding with The Enchantress in 2012. The cover artist for the series is Michael Wagner.English-language. Versions are printed by Doubleday and Corgi in the UK and Australia, and by Delacorte Press in the US. As of November 2009, the translation rights have been purchased by 37 countries, and the books have been translated into 20 languages. Each of the first 4 titles featured in the top 10 of the New York Times bestseller children's books list. The Alchemist reached No. 2 on the 26th of August 2007, and as of the 24th of March 2008 it had sold in excess of 150,000 copies. The Magician reached No. 4 on the 13th of July 2008. The Sorceress reached No. 5, and The Necromancer reached No. 3. The books have been nominated for various Dean Literary and Readers' Awards. The film rights to the series have been bought by MPCO Films. Plot overview. The main story arc charts the adventures of 2 15-year-old American teens, named Sophie and Josh Newman, whose regular lives working at the summer jobs are turned upside down by the arrival of Dr. John Dee. Dr. Dee engages the bookstore owner, Nick Fleming, in a battle of magic in an attempt to steal an ancient book, the Book of Abraham the Mage, from him. Dr. John Dee snatches the book from Josh's grasp, but Josh manages to retain 2 pages. Dr. John Dee also kidnaps Nick's wife, Perry Fleming, and imprisons her on Alcatraz Island. After the battle, Nick Fleming confesses to Josh and Sophie that his real name is Nicholas Flamel, that he is the French alchemist from history, that he is also immortal, and that the twins, himself and Perry, are in grave danger. Nicholas tells the twins that he believes them to be mentioned in a prophecy within the Codex, and that the fate of the world as they know it could depend on his success in getting the dormant, latent magical abilities fully awakened. He also tells them that without the Codex both he and Perry will die within a month, as their immortality and prolonged youth and longevity depends on a recipe for a special elixir found only within its pages. This elixir changes monthly and cannot be memorized. Meanwhile, Dr. John Dee has found out that he is missing 2 vital pages from the Codex, the pages of the final summoning needed by him to return his masters, the Dark Elders, to Earth, and so begins a fast-paced race as Dee pursues the twins and Nicholas for the pages of the Codex, whilst Nicholas, aided by Skathach and others, race to get the twins' latent magical auras awakened, to get them schooled in the use of the elemental magics water, fire, earth, air, and ether, and to rescue his wife, Perry. The stories crisscross the globe, featuring well-known places and sites such as San Francisco, London, the Eiffel Tower, Stonehenge, and the Golden Gate Bridge. Many characters from history and mythology help both sides pursue their goals. In the first 4 books alone, Skathach, Hecate, Prometheus, the Witch of Endor, Gilgamesh, Niccolo Machiavelli, Bastet, Odin, William Shakespeare, Joan of Arc, Billy the Kid, Virginia Dare, the Count of Saint-Germain, and Mars Ultra enter the series. Development. The idea for the series as a whole began in May 1997. Initially the series had Dee in the leading role, and was going to be called The Secrets of John Dee, a historical character that Scott knew well, having featured him in 3 of his other titles, Image, Reflection, and The Merchant Prince. He wanted to bring Dee into the 21st century and introduce him to a young audience that may not have heard of the historical Doctor before, but he decided that Dr. Dee was too sinister and had dubious motivation. Inspiration struck one night in 2000, when Scott took a wrong turn whilst wandering around Paris and happened upon Nicholas Flamel's house in the Rue du Montmorency. Having decided that he had found the perfect mentor for the twins, Scott began plotting the series in earnest, planning the storyline of each chapter. He soon decided that it would be a 6-book series, which would allow him to introduce many figures from history and mythology. In the 6 books, readers have been introduced to characters from the Greco-Roman, Egyptian, Norse and Celtic mythologies and historical characters from the Elizabethan, Renaissance, Egyptian and Gilded eras. He plotted the whole series to such an intricate level that his plot script is currently in excess of 80,000 words, equivalent to a book itself, and that he knew in 2009 what the last words to the series would be. Main characters: Nicholas Flamel, the title character, an alchemist. Along with his wife, Perenelle, he has lived for nearly 700 years searching for Josh and Sophie Newman, the gold and silver twins of legend, who can save the Shadow Realm of Earth from the Mad Dr. John Dee and the Dark Elders who seek to destroy it. Flamel is a legend who built his fortune through alchemy, which he uses to amazing effect to combat the horrors Dee sends after the twins and himself. Despite good intentions, however, he is not without flaws, and seeks recompense by training Josh and Sophie. Josh Newman, the gold twin of legend, awakened by Mars Ultra. Josh is a lover of history and a natural strategist. However, he is suspicious of Nicholas Flamel, due to his not telling them of the previous twins' demise, a fact that causes Josh to ultimately shift alliances, though he remains cautious of Dee. Eventually, he sides with Flamel. Sophie Newman, the silver twin of legend, awakened by Hecate, and later trained by the Witch of Endor, who infuses her memories and experiences into her. Sophie is protective of Josh and more patient, though she is also horrified by the twins' fates. She decides to side with the Flamels to save Earth, but seeks out her brother eventually. Dr. John Dee, the main antagonist, an English magician and necromancer who formerly advised Queen Elizabeth I. He seeks to bring back to Earth the Dark Elders, who wish to destroy and rebuild it. However, after he is declared Utlaga, or outlaw, for failing them, he decides to use the 4 swords of power, Excalibur, Clarent, Joyous and Eorendil, to go back in time to Danu Talis and destroy them, convincing Josh to join his side with the promise of a renewed Earth. Eventually he sides with the Flamels, but by then it is too late. Perenelle Flamel, the wife of Nicholas, and a powerful sorceress. Being the 7th daughter of a 7th daughter, she can contact ghosts and has a long-standing feud with Machiavelli. Many have suggested, correctly, that she is much more powerful than Nicholas, as she has proven as she tries to save San Francisco from the horrors on nearby Alcatraz. Niccolo Machiavelli, a renowned Italian philosopher and eventual warlock, or warlager, who is tasked with releasing an army from Alcatraz after helping Dee in Paris. He and Josh have an understanding, as they are both human in spirit, a trait which he later shares with Billy the Kid. This trait causes Machiavelli to re-evaluate his opinions of the Dark Elders and reform and break his oaths to them, choosing not to release the monsters on the Humani. Title's significance. On the 1st of July 2012, Michael Scott issued this statement, incontrovertibly naming the title characters so far. Each book in the series is named after a character. Some are easy to guess, but others require a closer reading of the text. So here, to avoid endless Wikipedia changes, is the definitive list. The Alchemist is Nicholas Flamel. The Magician is Dr. John Dee. The Sorceress is Perenelle Flamel. The Necromancer is Josh Newman. The Warlock is Niccolo Machiavelli. The Enchantress is Sophie Newman. special editions and cover variations. On the 5th of August 2010 in the UK, Necromancer was released featuring a new style cover. It was joined by The Alchemist, The Magician and The Sorceress, which were re-released with new covers in the same style. The Alchemist, The Magician and The Sorceress were released as a special edition box set called The First Codex in the USA on the 28th of September 2010. Series chronology. In published order: The Alchemist, released on the 24th of May 2007, the 22nd of May 2007. The Magician, released on the 5th of June 2008, the 24th of June 2008. The Sorceress, released on the 25th of June 2009, the 26th of May 2009. The Necromancer, released on the 25th of May 2010, the 5th of August 2010. The Warlock, released on the 24th of May 2011, the 2nd of June 2011. The Enchantress, released on the 22nd of May 2012. Side stories: The Death of Joan of Arc, released the 24th of August 2010 in ebook format. Billy the Kid and the Vampires of Vegas, a lost story from the secrets of the immortal Nicholas Flamel, released the 22nd of November 2011. Online games. The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series has spawned online games. The first related online game to be launched was the Codex Master. The game is to guess a secret code consisting of a sequence of colored orbs by inputting various sequences and using logic. When a sequence is entered, indicators show when the player has the right color and also when a color is in the right or wrong position to enable them to apply logic and guess the correct sequence. An online game was created to celebrate the release of The Sorceress. It was called The Challenges of the Elder and launched on the 21st of April 2009. Players are guided through the game, which is a set of 4 challenges, by video scenes featuring Michael Scott. The first task, The Alchemist's Challenge, required players to assemble a moving jigsaw of the series logo against a countdown clock. The second task, The Magician's Challenge, required players to turn over 2 books from a series of books and find matching symbols. When a matching pair was found, both books burst into flames and disappeared. The task was complete when all the books had been matched. The third task, The Sorceress Challenge, was a color sequencing game where players chose colored flasks and would have to repeat the sequence that they were shown in. Players then advanced to meet the Elder, who asked them a set of knowledge questions about the books, and were given a colored or a ranking calculated from the scores and time taken to complete the tasks. To promote the USA release of the Necromancer, Random House released an online game called The Quest for the Codex. Players were presented with a grid containing numbered squares and had to click on the squares to uncover hidden rewards, playing pieces and mini-games. When they completed the game, they received online access to the first 6 chapters of the Necromancer. Awards and nominations: The Alchemist Irish Book of the Year 2008, Kentucky Bluegrass Book Award, Maine Student Book Award, Nevada Young Readers Award, North Carolina School Library Media Association Young Adult Book Award 2010, Rhode Island Book Award 2008, The Magician 2009 Irish Book of the Year, the Dublin Airport Authority Irish Children's Book of the Year SNR category, The Sorceress Amazon Best Books of 2009 Top 10 Children's Books, Middle Readers. Sibyl's 2009 nominations: Fantasy and Amp, Science Fiction, Elementary, Middle Years, Audiobooks. The 6 titles have all been recorded as unabridged audiobooks. The Alchemist was narrated by Dennis O'Hare. The Magician was narrated by Eric Singer. The Sorceress, the Necromancer, the Warlock and the Enchantress were narrated by Paul Bomer. Film adaptation. Film rights were initially sold in 2006 to New Line Cinema and Mark Burnett Productions, with Mark Burnett being named as the producer and Eric Bress as the scriptwriter. The film was listed as in pre-production and reported at IMDb. Mention of the deal can still be found in the BBC archives. The rights reverted to Michael Scott, and on the 19th of November 2009 it was announced in Variety that Lorenzo di Bonaventura had bought the film rights to the series. Michael Scott and Barry Crust were to be executive producers. Well, I have been promising news of the Flamel movie. Here's the press release. The movie was set up with New Line, but New Line were absorbed by Warner and the rights reverted to me. There has been tremendous interest in the series and eventually it went to Lorenzo di Bonaventura, who is the man responsible for bringing Harry Potter to Warner when he was there. He genuinely loves this series. The next step now is to attach a writer. I will not write it. I have 3 more books to do. Michael Scott. On the 21st of June 2012, it was announced that AMPCO Films had acquired the film rights. Production is set to begin in February 2013 in Australia and New Zealand. Michael Scott will write the screenplay, saying he would like it to be true to the book.